This is Jess, Wes and our daughter Izzy. After selling our house and most of our possessions at the end of 2021, we've packed up our Van Bevan to tour Australia. We are Life is Vanderful.
So welcome to Rosehaven. So Rosehaven is a town, a fictional town on the Australian TV sitcom, I guess you call it, on the ABC on Australian TV, of Rosehaven, about an idyllic sort of town or village in the south of Tasmania, and that's where we've come today. So we're about an hour and a half south of Hobart. Beautiful here on the banks of the Helium River. And it's actually called Giveston, so it's not Rosehaven. There isn't a town called Rosehaven, and they filmed it across a number of towns. We're going to be going to a couple of them just by chance on our journey, and this is the first one, Giveston. So the other thing this town Giveston's got is something called the Platypus Walk, so I hope you can see a platypus.
It's something I've been wanting to see, well, I think we've both been wanting to see all year.
Yeah, so we've seen a lot of Australian animals on our travels. We haven't seen a wild platypus, so let's see if we can find one by the river. Jess is looking for a wild platypus. Can you see any platypus, Izzy?
No.
No? The platypus feed mainly late afternoon, which it is now, or early in the morning. They're mainly active at night time.
Look, Daddy.
Oh, cool, you found some glass. Let that go. What a bad parent. This will not be recorded. And they're probably not going to be in this bit where the river's a little fast flowing, so we'll keep looking, but so far no luck. So no luck with the platypus. So I guess we'll just be having burgers tonight instead of throwing a platypus on the barbie. So maybe we'll come back in the morning and check it out. We're literally 30-second walk from the river, so we'll see.
They like early mornings though, and I don't like early mornings, so yeah, we'll see.
So good morning again from Rosehaven / Giveston. We've come on our favourite walk to the platypus viewing area, and at this stage we still haven't seen one, so we reckon trying to spot a Tasmanian tiger might be easier than trying to spot a platypus in these parts. So at a little place called Taruna, and this is the shot tower, an old historic building, so we're going to go climb up it on the way back towards Hobart.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
And this is the first shot tower in Australia, if that's worth anything.
2, 3, 4, 16, 17, 18. So we actually saw the shot tower on the Australian series Amazing Race, and contestants had to run up and down and count how many stairs there were. If they got it wrong, they had to do it again. I would not want to do this a second time. It's a long way. So this is Australia's first shot tower and the only round sandstone shot tower in the entire southern hemisphere. And if you're a bit like me, I didn't really know exactly what the purpose of a shot tower was. I just knew it had something to do with bullets. But basically from the top they dropped lava like lead all the way down, and then it created the little pellets that go inside the shots for the sporting shotguns. Wes is shaking his head like I'm saying this wrong. Oh no, he's just shaking his head because Izzy's carrying on while I'm trying to talk. So I think that's correct still. Anyway, there's a lot of stairs, I think 400 and something. I've lost track already. So we'll keep going up.
It's on the Amazing Race.
Oh, watch that then and find out.
Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight.
Driven up the road to New Norfolk. This is another place where they film Rosehaven, and this church is just somewhere where we're going to get coffee and cake because it's a coffee and cake type of day.
So in the TV series Rosehaven, there were 4 buildings used for the real estate office over the seasons, and we're in New Norfolk now and we're driving past the 4th real estate used. It's just this red building up here for all the Rosehaven fans.
So we have driven a little over 2 hours from New Norfolk to Strathgordon. So Strathgordon, or more specifically Gordon Dam, is Australia's largest dam wall. I don't know if that means height or width or what, but we're about to go find out. And it's situated on Lake Pedder, and Lake Pedder is Australia's largest freshwater lake. So we're going to go, you can walk on top of the dam here, and yeah, been blessed with this beautiful day, and we're going to camp here on Lake Pedder tonight. This is one of the best echo acoustics in the world apparently, so there's a big pause between saying it and hearing it a couple of seconds later, so Izzy's going to try it out for us. Go loud.
Echo! Echo! Echo!
So cool, huh?
Echo!
So Gordon Dam was constructed in the 70s, between 72 and 74. It's 198 metres wide at its widest point at the top, and 140 metres tall from top to bottom. It's a curved wall, or should say double curved wall, to cope with all the stresses from the water. And at its base, it's 17 metres thick from concrete, and up the top it's only 2.8 meters thick. So there's some stats, and the stats don't really do it justice. It's incredible to look out from above. It's yeah, it's really jaw-dropping. And now to go all the way back up top. So where we're camping today on the banks of Lake Petter is known as Ted's Beach, and Ted's Beach was named after a guy called Edward Hotham, and he was the project manager of the Gordon River Power Scheme and Power Station, which is there just outside of Strathgordon. So Strathgordon was the town that was built for all the workers on the dam and the power station for Gordon Dam. Now it's turned into like a wildlife retreat, or wilderness retreat I should say. But anyway, this Ted, or Edward Hotham, yeah, he was the project manager, and he suggested a beach to be built here to try and get some tourism into the area after the dam was created. So I used beach in inverted commas. At that stage when he proposed this, there was no, it hadn't sort of been flooded, this Petter Lake, and he got a lot of people to clear all the bush and all the area close to where the shore would be, and people thought he was crazy because he was effectively building a beach when there was no water yet, and yeah, it was you know, miles away from it. But when it did flood, the resulting water came up to the shore and formed a beach. So he was, yeah, proved right. So wouldn't say there's a lot of sand. There's a little bit of sand here, mainly rock, and you can camp on the beach as well. But yeah, that's just a little story as to why it's known as Ted's Beach. We've driven about an hour and a half east from Strathgordon, or I should say Petter's Dam, where we were last night, and we've come to Westaway and Westaway Raspberry Farm. So what do you do at Raspberry Farm?
Strawberry pick.
You pick strawberries. Oh. As parents, we're not condoning socks with sandals, but Izzy was very insistent on wearing the socks with sandals combo today, to the point of screaming. So this is Lake St Clair. We're camping on the shores of Lake St Clair, and it is Australia's deepest freshwater lake. And it's also the end point of a really cool hike you can do called the Overland Track, which starts at Cradle Mountain, sort of north of here. Takes 6 or 7 days, and then you get here to Lake St Clair. So we're going to do it backwards, and we're also doing it, I guess, cheating if you like, by driving. So we're going to loop around and get to Cradle Mountain in a couple of days. But for now, we're in Lake St Clair, and yeah, we're going to go for a walk. There's so many walks and hikes you can do here. Day walks, overnight walks, the Overland Track, and obviously with Izzy, so we're just going to do a short walk, and maybe something called the Platypus Walk. So Jess is very desperate to see some platypus, and it is platypuses. It's not platypi. Platypuses is the multiple term. So yeah, we'll see. Even if we see one, we'll be happy. So that's what's next up. this is the platypus viewing area, and yeah, it's a long way away from the water, so I don't think we're going to see one today. So no luck yet again trying to find any platypus. We found a potteroo and a snake instead, so time to go back to camp. Jess is doing it tough. Not only has she got Izzy on her shoulders, but also missing the bottom. She's missing sole. You got no sole.
I got soul, baby. And nowhere to buy new shoes, so I had to do a super glue job tonight.
And this is the visitor centre at Lake St Clair. There's information about walks, gift shop, that type of thing. Then also like a restaurant, cafe, and this part of it here, which is a bit too fancy for us. Jess made a good point. We are very fancy, but just not at the moment. Not on van life budget. Good morning from the shores of Lake St Clair. Behind me, I'll move my head in a second, but this is Pump House Point, and it's an exclusive boutique hotel that you can come to. We didn't stay there last night. We stayed, of course, in Devon, and it was very cold, but we're at a powered site, so we could run the heater. And we woke up this morning and realised why it was so cold. If you look behind me, turn the camera around, you can see the snow-capped mountains behind us. So it's December, it's officially summer, but no one's told that to the weather gods here in Tasmania. Hello.
Feels like the middle of winter, but it's the start of summer.
It was sleeting on the way here. It's now sunny, so it's changing conditions a lot.
But sunny doesn't mean warm.
No, it still means cold. We're at Nelson Falls, about an hour east of where we started this morning at Lake St Clair. Sorry, hour west, not east. No, must have had enough coffee this morning.
No.
And it's what, a 700 metre walk.
Yeah, it's really close from the car park, and it's supposed to be one of the most impressive falls in Tasmania to go see.
Izzy's all rugged up. We'll go ahead and check it out.
And it's another one of the Tasmania's 60 great short walks.
So the Nelson Falls walk was a perfect length walk for us with Izzy at only 20 minutes. And now we're heading off to Strawn, and we're going to stop at the town of Queenstown on the way. So this is Iron Blow Lookout. It's freezing, it's been hailing, and we're taking turns to go look at it. morning from Strawn. We got here late yesterday, and this morning we're going for a walk to
Hogarth Falls. So it's just a short 40 to 50 minute walk, another of Tasmania's 60 great walks. Not to be confused with Hogwarts. I don't think we're going to see any Harry Potters today. Izzy, are you excited for our walk today?
Yeah.
Yes? What do you think we might see?
Platypus.
A platypus? I hope so. Fingers crossed. Let's go.
So as Jess mentioned, we're in Strawn, taking this walk to Hogarth Falls, and we'd love to stay longer here in Strawn, but we've actually booked 3 nights accommodation at the very start of our trip to Tasmania. We booked for these last 3 nights in Cradle Mountain, so we're going there later today because it's really hard to get spots there, or it can be hard to get spots there. So yeah, Strawn's all around the west coast, and you can do river cruises on the Gordon River, which is like a mirrored sort of river, really beautiful. Get to see penguins. There's Convict Island called Sarah Island you can go on. There's also something called the Wilderness Railway, where you can go from here to Queenstown on an old historic railway. So there's heaps of things to do here in Strawn. They're also quite long things to do. I think the cruise lasts all day. The railway can last all day, and they're not the sort of cheapest things either. So yeah, we're gonna do this walk here today. Then we're gonna get moving to the next thing, just because we've sort of run out of time. But yeah, Strawn's a really good place to do lots of other sort of activities. Oh, you surprised me. Welcome to Cradle Mountain.
I'm going down the mountain.
So we have 3 nights at Cradle Mountain. Today's our first day, just here in the afternoon. We've got 2 full days tomorrow, and there's so many walks here to explore and go on. So I hope the weather stays cold but fine for us. Our first walk we're going on is called the Enchanted Walk. It's another one of the 60 great walks, Tasmanian great walks, and just a little easy one to start with for Izzy, apparently going through tunnels and things like that. So it's only 20 minutes, but the great thing we're sort of just learning about Cradle Mountain is there's so many walks depending on your fitness level, whether you want to go for a 20-minute stroll like we're doing, 2 or 3 hour walk, which we'll probably do the next couple of days. You can do a whole day walk, and then of course you've got the overland track starts from here, which is 6 or 7 days. So there's so many different mountains, lakes, things to see, that yeah, you could spend a week here easy. But for us, 3 days is actually pretty, 3 nights is actually pretty long for us. We usually go to things pretty quickly, so this will be a unique experience.
Also thought we should mention that there is a shuttle bus here, and it takes you to the start of all the walks within the park. So there's heaps of parking at the visitor centre, which is really great, especially if you've got a big rig like us. Heaps of parking there, then you hop on the free shuttle bus, which is included in your Tasmanian Parks Pass. Runs every 10 to 15 minutes from the visitor centre between the hours of 8 and 6 p.m, so really handy. So we've hopped off the bus at Ronnie Creek today, and we're going to be walking out to Cradle Lake. And this section that we're walking along here is actually part of the overland track, that famous multi-day track that we were telling you about from Cradle Mountain down to St Clair.
So this is Cradle Lake. We're 1100 metres up above sea level, and we're at the lake here, and we've still got mountains behind us, and this might just be one of my favourite views or outlooks that we've seen on this whole trip. So we've had somewhat of a mini disaster. Bunny has been dropped somewhere along the way. We just realised we've just got to the turning point of the track to go back down the mountain on the loop, past Wombat Pool. And you've dropped Bunny somewhere, and we haven't realised it, have we? So Mum has gone back to go look for it. We think it might be at the waterfalls, which were a little bit ago. So. I think I see a bunny. That's Mummy. I think she's got Bunny. Yay! Woohoo! It's the next morning here at Cradle Mountain, and the weather has turned, so it's pretty bad. We woke up this morning that was chucking it down, so we've waited it out for a couple of hours, and there's a bit of a break in the rain, so we're going to walk to the visitor centre, probably just in time for the next rain shower to come. We'll wait there for a little bit, and then when it clears we're going to catch the bus and go to Dove Lake. So we passed by Dove Lake yesterday briefly, but yeah, the plan was to go do that full circuit today, so we might not be able to do the full circuit of Dove Lake, just a couple of the points, and see what the weather's like. You should see Cradle Mountain in the background across the lake, but it mightn't be too wet for that today, so we'll just see. Good thing we got 3 nights here, so we can at least got yesterday in, so that's the positive. And then yeah, tonight's our last night here in Tasmania, and tomorrow we're catching the boat, so we'll try and make the most of our final full day here in Tasmania.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on our third and final day in Cradle Mountain, and we've only just gone out for a walk today because it's been raining and miserable all morning. We've had the tiniest break, so we've come to Dove Lake circuit because here there's 2 short 10-minute walks you can take. So even if we just get those 2 walks in, we'll be happy, but we can extend on it if the weather improves. Still makes for some beautiful scenery in this weather here.
2 days ago Jess's shoes fell apart, the sole came off, but I managed to do my best MacGyver impersonation, and with a little bit of super glue that was finished and some silicone sealant that we had in the van and some tape, I managed to fix them up, and they've survived 2 days of trekking gear at Cradle Mountain, just starting to fall apart as we go back to camp.
You think the tight ass would just buy me some new shoes, hey?
You would also think that Cradle Mountain would have a store for hiking boots and shoes, but there are no hiking boots or shoes. I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I had to fix it using those techniques. So there you go. I'm a tight ass, but Jess got her shoes fixed.
So I forgot to chat a little bit about how our walk went yesterday out to Crater Lake. It's probably one of the most physically exhausting walks that we've done this year. Not really for the walk itself, but for the fact that Isabel had decided to be a real lazy bones. She didn't want to walk an inch for the first couple of hours. So that resulted in us piggybacking and shoulder riding her the whole way up. And it was really steep the whole way up. So we were absolutely wrecked at the end of the day. But apart from that, the whole walk itself, the scenic aspect is just simply gorgeous. The start of the walk that we did is actually the start of the famous overland track that goes for multiple days. And at the very start of the track at Ronnie Creek, we managed to see 3 wombats, which was pretty cool. And that's all really sort of flat, tough grass area. Then you go through some beautiful rainforest and waterfalls before walking up some rocky bits to the lake itself. And there's a lovely boathouse there which we picnicked at. And then you go up again and you're at sort of a summit where you can look out over Wombat Pool and the other 2 lakes that are there. I have to put them here, I can't remember them offhand. And you can also see Cradle Mountain Peak as you're coming back down the other side, which is a stunning view. So yeah, a lot of good changing views the whole way out. Not too difficult a walk if you're doing it without a toddler. Definitely recommend it as one of the ones that you do when visiting Cradle Mountain. Just a side note as well, you'll see it when you get here if you come visit. Be prepared with your clothing. So today we're wearing so many layers. So I have my thermal jumper, had a big jacket and a rain jacket, and it's still a little chilly. Whereas yesterday we were just in a long sleeve shirt and vest. The weather here changes so drastically. There is a photograph that you'll see all over the place here, which has 2 photographs of the same spot 48 hours apart. And one is sunshiny and beautiful, and the other is like ankle deep snow. So be prepared with your clothing, be prepared with food. Make sure you tell someone when you're heading out on a walk as well. They have registration points here at the mountain.
Good morning, it's our last day here in Tasmania. We catch the ferry back tonight and we're in the town of Latrobe at the moment, and we're going platypus spotting. So our 3rd and final attempt at trying to find some platypus. Apparently this is a great place to see them on the banks of the Mersey River here. So we have been for a look, and we've walked down the path here, and we've seen a couple of ripples in the water and what we think are platypus tails, but we haven't seen anything pierce the surface or come close in the rocks or shallow water. So just going to go to another spot down here and have a look, and fingers crossed we can see some for Jess and Isabel. They really want to look at some platypus before we go. So I think Jess and Izzy have finally found
We found one!
a platypus.
Found one!
Thanks so much for watching. If you're liking our videos, please subscribe.